Hey guys, Vance here. For over a century, the global economy has run on oil, a substance formed over millions of years, extracted in seconds, and burned even faster, usually by someone late for work. Oil has shaped nations, industry, and the very design of the modern automobile. It has also shaped something else, a recurring global tradition of fuel crises, each one arriving like an uninvited guest who keeps finding your new address. This is the story of how those crises reshaped car production in the 1970s to today. In 1973, the first great shock happened. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East triggered an oil embargo that stunned the world. Prices quadrupled, gas stations rationed fuel, drivers waited in lines so long they began forming small communities complete with unofficial mayors and shared snacks. For automakers, the crisis was transformative. The era of the oversized, chrome laden land yacht began to fade. Efficiency, once considered optional, like flossing, became a necessity. Japan surged ahead with compact, fuel efficient cars. The United States, meanwhile, began a long internal debate about whether a car should be both small and American, a debate that continues in certain parking lots today. In 1979, history repeated itself with more hair. The Iranian Revolution disrupted global oil supplies again. The world, having learned so much from 1973, responded with calm, rational planning. Just kidding, everyone panicked again. Fuel prices soared, automakers accelerated research into efficiency, aerodynamics, and engines that didn't consume gasoline like a competitive sport. This period gave rise to innovations that will define the next decades: front wheel drive platforms, lighter materials, and cars shaped by wind tunnels rather than by designers who simply liked rectangles. It was a turning point, one that came with the realization that the world might need to diversify its energy sources, or at least stop pretending oil was infinite. Then, in 1990s, came the Gulf War shock. The invasion of Kuwait in 1990 triggered another spike in oil prices. Markets trembled, consumers hesitated, automakers briefly remembered fuel efficiency was important. But as soon as prices stabilized, the SUV era began in earnest. Consumers embraced vehicles so large they could comfortably transport a family, a dog, and possibly a small orchestra. Efficiency took a back seat, sometimes literally, because the back seats were enormous. Then came the 2008 oil price spike, the wake up call that hit like a brick. In 2008, oil prices reached historic highs. The global economy strained. Drivers reconsidered their life choices. Some even read their car's owner's manual for the first time. Automakers pivoted sharply. Hybrids surged, electric prototypes gained momentum, and efficiency standards tightened worldwide. For a moment, it seemed like the SUV might go extinct. But like many prehistoric creatures, it returned, larger, heavier, and somehow more popular than ever, once fuel prices fell again. Then came the 2020s, pandemic, supply chains, and the era of perpetual uncertainty. The early 2020s introduced a new kind of instability. Oil demand collapsed during global lockdowns, then rebounded violently. Supply chains fractured, semiconductors disappeared into a mysterious void, possibly the same place missing socks go. Car production slowed dramatically, factories halted, dealership lots emptied. Used cars became so valuable that some owners began guarding them like rare artifacts. At the same time, electric vehicles surged. Governments set ambitious climate targets. Automakers invested billions in battery technology, charging networks, and software systems that occasionally updated themselves at 3 a.m. without warning. The industry was transforming faster than at any point since the invention of the assembly line. Then there's the current Iran conflict, geopolitics, and the fragile energy web. Recent tensions involving Iran have once again disrupted global oil markets. Shipping routes face new risks. Prices fluctuate unpredictably. Energy analysts refresh charts with the intensity of someone checking the live score after betting. For automakers, the impact is immediate. Higher energy costs, volatile material prices, logistical uncertainty, and renewed pressure to accelerate the shift toward electrification. The industry, already navigating a decade of upheaval, now faces yet another reminder that global fuel supply is a delicate system, one that reacts dramatically to geopolitical stress. Across 5 decades, fuel crises have repeatedly reshaped the automotive world. Each shock forced innovation, smaller engines, lighter materials, hybrid systems, and eventually full electrification. And yet, a pattern persists. When fuel prices rise, efficiency becomes a moral imperative. When prices fall, humanity buys the largest vehicle available, preferably the one with cup holders the size of flower pots. But slowly, steadily, the industry is changing. Electric vehicles are no longer experimental. Efficiency is no longer optional. And the global energy landscape is shifting toward a future where the next fuel crisis may look very different or may not arrive at all. If history repeats itself, the next big fuel crisis will arrive exactly when everyone least expects it. Probably right after they buy a new SUV. Hit like if you enjoyed the video.